I gotta say, you guys, I really love Holochain. I think HOT really is an exciting project. I mean, for the most part, I try to stay biased as much as possible on this channel. I try to withhold my opinion, but from time to time, I just have to tell you when crypto really sets itself apart from the others. This tweet really does encapsulate how impressive Holochain is. It definitely does stand aside. It sits well above that other crowd of cryptocurrencies, which is again why it's one of the more impressive technologies that I'm certainly paying attention to, and especially in times like these. I mean, right now I'm very excited to see the amount of interest that's come into the space, and it's a victory for blockchain in general. But moreover, I think that Holochain does stand to benefit from this sort of victory as well, being the number 40 cryptocurrency at the time of making this video. And of course, everybody, for those of you interested, it's May 17th, 2019 at the time making this video, just for the record. And of course, it's interesting to see how blockchain has come back into popularity in the mainstream discourse, which of course is very exciting to see. And while we witness a lot of these different developments, and we're going through the motions of basically everybody thinking that it's 2017 again, I'm ready for it to be 2020. The fact of the matter is, I mean, we had that period of time where we were able to accumulate, where we were able to get our Bitcoins for $3,000 for some of us, in the past couple of months, which is a victory in and of itself. And I think the fact that there's people out there who have the gall to complain about the space just right now having a small, movement backwards, I mean, is quite foolish, because I think that anybody who really understands this space is that it's in the fashion of cryptocurrency to move at its own pace. And I think not only I think very highly of the future of cryptocurrency adoption, and I think that every single time it's like a wave goes out and then it expands a little bit more, and the beach is slowly being expanded. And I think as things move forward, we're actually seeing the rudiments of the building of the world of cryptocurrency essentially building up all around us, which I think definitely does have some merit in and of itself. And as we see the space making these key developments, I think we definitely have to keep an eye out for the cryptocurrencies that set themselves apart from the herd. So right now, I'm still not accumulating any Bitcoin right now. Just the fact that it's gone up so high. I'm gonna have to wait for a little while. Basically, for those of you who are wondering, but I will probably accumulate an undisclosed amount of my favorite cryptos, just because I do that every single month, just because you never really know, and that's sort of the strategy that I personally have found to be the most beneficial. But I think that this is a good thing, with what we've been seeing. And personally, if I could see the value of the space even go through another period, I think what people who are new to this space, there's so many people who just jump in and out, who don't understand the significance of the technology behind these things, and Holochain standing out, definitely, making a name for itself with peer-to-peer, agent centric. It's definitely a vision of what the internet will actually have, will look like in the near future. This article goes on to say, in the latest couple of days, HOT/BTC chart dropped out of the declining channel, penetrated the support at 19 SATs, and is now lingering around the horizontal support line at 16 SAT. And of course, the volume is still extremely weak, and it is very likely that the reversal is still not in sight. Bitcoin squeezes of all altcoins did loosen up a bit, so some of the big caps like XRP and XLM made solid gains on BTC in the last 24 hours. Should the outflow of money towards altcoins continue, we can expect that some of that value get parked in HOT as well. And no, this definitely does go along the lines of the analysis that I've been putting forward, all through the, the mania that's been this past, 48 hours with what we've been seeing. And this is why I'm always, recommending to people to read the white paper on these things, because I'm making this prediction right now that the altcoin season does have potential to resurge, with this sort of mania. I mean, we're not through the woods yet. I mean, obviously, there is that potential to return back. I mean, obviously, I was even saying I feel slightly nostalgia for something like a couple months ago, just because, it's like they say, in The Wolf of Wall Street, your only regret is that you didn't buy more. Now, that's not always the case in cryptocurrency, but of course, we're fortunate to have times like these where we're able to have that perspective. But this article right here definitely does an interesting job of facilitating that point that I was trying to make earlier about how this essentially does do a good job of expanding the entirety of what we can expect to see, the foundation that blockchain is making in the world. And I think something about Holochain that really sets it apart from the herd, and helps it stand well above that crowd of other cryptos, is really the fact that Holochain is thinking beyond the expectations of what's even currently forward thinking in the minds of a lot of people, and I think that it definitely does go a lot to say. The fact of the matter is, this was an interesting chart as well, but there is a lot of potential in the near future for Holochain. I'd say in the couple of months that are expanding before us, we could see some pretty interesting things happening with all the different crypto. Right now, it's anybody's guess, but I think that right now it's interesting to see how the space has been getting so much more attention that otherwise look the other way. But you don't see stuff like this happening in the stock market. You just don't. So the fact that Ethereum is going to be worth 0 by 2020, that's funny. But overall, I think that this the fact that Bitcoin's now at 7,000 is a welcome proof of proof of something. At least the fact that the digital space is still managed to stay afloat. It is a victory for us all. Something to be celebrated. But of course, remember, you guys, if you're interested in connecting with us, you could do so at CryptoTuber on YouTube. On Twitter as well, at CryptoTuber. Make sure that you guys follow us over there and send us any tweets that you guys might find interesting. Of course, remember, this video is for entertainment, education purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your dad, yada, yada. Make sure you guys do your own research. Ripple potentially sped up its XRP distribution timeline by 21 years. This is also interesting. I know a lot of you wanted me to bring this up, and it's something that we will be addressing further. I think, a lot of what's happening with the institution, the banks in particular, in cryptocurrency can be understood just by looking at the moves that XRP, XLM have been making, which definitely does go a long way. I think that it was interesting to hear, various comments that were made by, some parties that will go unspoken for now. But it seems like these very wealthy people, I'm not going to say any names, they seem to, they'll, with one hand, tied behind their back, they'll discredit cryptocurrency one way, and then they'll turn around, and I'm guessing that they're buying up as much of that stuff as they can while everybody else is FOMOing out. But then again, I think that somebody's word has less of a sway in the cryptocurrency space in 2019 as opposed to 2017. I think right now people look more at technology. People are looking more into, like I said, doing the research, and finding out the important information that's going to be paying off in the long run. And I think that's the game plan. I mean, that's the game I'll be playing at least. But all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I think we've covered some interesting perspectives, and it's very interesting to look at Holochain, especially in the context of what we've seen happen just in the past 48 hours alone. But all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.